here's my review on the 2020 Netflix release, Jingle Jangle. What's going on, family? You guys are so amazing. Here on this channel, our mission is to empower the world to never give up, one interview at a time, one conversation at a time. Well, in this case, one review at a time. Now, if you look at other people's reviews, my review is nothing like the standard classic review where they give names of the characters, they tell you the scenes. My whole mission with the reviews is to let you know of the good movies that you need to watch with a great message that'll help you out. And of course, I want to give some motivational background or what I took from it as far as the motivational side that inspired me from that movie. So let's talk about this amazing Christmas movie. Matter of fact, I want to say this before I forget. Geronimo, that was his name, Geronimo Jingle. Listen, I was telling my wife, I was like, I love that name, Geronimo Jingle, and then his granddaughter, Journey. It was a beautiful name. I love it. My wife said we should have twins and name Geronimo and Journey. I was like, nah, the way my bank account is set up, all my money's in the savings, and it takes 3 days to transfer over. Can't do it. That's a no. But anyway, Geronimo, I think that was a very interesting name. And I want to tell you before you watch the rest of this review, because you guys have been loving the reviews, and I greatly appreciate your connection. As a matter of fact, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now. That way you'll never miss these good videos that I have coming out. So, but before I start my review, before I give you my insight of this movie, I want to tell you, go watch this movie. I had to go do something Friday. I was working late Friday. I had to go and I do videography, I do photography. I have a few businesses, t-shirt company, a few companies that I run, that I operate, that I own and operate at the same time, right? And I told my daughter, I said, listen, we're gonna watch this movie on Friday. It comes out on Netflix on Friday. Like, we're going to the movie theaters. And it's just, the shoot lasted longer than I expected. So I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay home Saturday morning, because usually I go out Saturday morning to take care of my business. But I said, I'm gonna stay home Saturday morning and we're gonna watch the movie. So that when we woke up, she said, Daddy, you still here? I said, yeah, I promise you I'm gonna watch the movie. We watch the movie. And my wife, she set the whole family room up like it was a real movie theaters. And she gave us some money, and we had to go to the counter and buy the popcorn, buy the drinks, buy the candy, and all that good stuff. So we had a great time. So before I told you, like I said, before I get started with this review, go watch the movie. The movie is epic, right? All right, so the movie was great. I was telling my wife as we were watching the movie, I was telling her that if it did not cost a lot of money to set the scene, it sure looked like it. I mean, the details was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it was just a great movie. And of course, it's the message that we hear time and time again about, and I just did a video about loyalty, right? And this movie was, and I should have incorporated, but I'm glad I didn't. Anyway, this movie was all about disloyalty, right? Loyalty is big in my radar. But in this movie, Geronimo was a great inventor. Now here it is, I'm about to transition to my motivational side. Geronimo was a great inventor. Now, this is what I really want to leave with you guys. It's easy to keep momentum when everything around you is going great. I get it. Everything is going great. Your bills are paid. What you are endeavoring to do is working great for you. It's moving in the right direction. So it's easy to keep a positive attitude. It's easy to keep a smile on your face. It's easy to become creative, right? But once you lose that edge, what happens? I want to encourage you on today that you need to keep on going. In this movie, I saw that Geronimo was the greatest inventor of all time. He was a genius. And while he was a genius, people were praising him and things were going absolutely phenomenal in his life. But two major things happened in Geronimo's life that made him go down the tube. First thing, and I'm gonna bring something interesting in the middle of this after I say this. The first thing that brought him down was that his assistant. Now watch this. His assistant was so into what he was doing. what Geronimo was doing. His assistant loved Geronimo, looked up to Geronimo. As a matter of fact, he was an inventor as well. He was trying to invent some things, and Geronimo kind of took him under his wings and let him be a part of the shop and let him into some secrets and stuff like that. But this is the danger. The danger is when you really don't see your value and you need somebody to boost you up. That's dangerous. I'm gonna get to that why in a minute. So he was Geronimo's assistant, and what happened was, this is the first thing that made Geronimo go down. Geronimo invented something, and the package came in. He invented it, and he put the drop or whatever big machine, and it made a lot of noise, and the drop went into the little toy. And when the drop went into the toy came alive. Geronimo had a moment where he celebrated. He celebrated because of a milestone, if you will, right? So after he celebrated, he left the toy in the room with his assistant. He left. His assistant was already down because he was trying to show him this little twirly toy that he invented, but it just kept on failing, so he needed Geronimo's help. So this is what happens. This is the danger I was saying, that when you don't have the confidence in yourself and somebody else needs to build you up. He was looking at the toy that Geronimo just created, and Geronimo was about to make millions of these toys. But the toy didn't want to be replicated. He didn't want to be duplicated. He just wanted to be the one and only. So what happened was, he had a mind of his own. How did he have a mind of his own? I don't know. But anyway, he had a mind of his own. And what he did was, he convinced the assistant that you are a creator too. And that's what the enemy would do. The enemy will make you think that you're doing the right thing when you're actually doing the wrong thing. He told him, he said, listen, just look into his book of inventions and borrow some of his inventions. Not stealing. You're not stealing. You're his assistant. You're borrowing. Give him credit, right? So he manipulated the assistant because he was down on his confidence. And the toy saw that. How did he see it? I don't know, but it's a movie. It's great. But he saw that he was down on his confidence. He boosted him up, and to ultimately fulfill the toy's desire to not to be duplicated, not to have a million of him. So, he got in his head. He stole his book. He left. That was the first thing that made Geronimo go down the drain. The second thing that made Geronimo go down the drain was the loss of his wife. I mean, the first was a big hit because he wrote all of his inventions down in the book. So I'm assuming that he wrote all of his ideas in the book. He did not remember, just like our iPads and our phones. We put everything in our phones. As a matter of fact, if my phone was to get lost today and I had to call my wife, I couldn't. I don't know her number. I know my mom's number by heart because she had the number since I was, 10 years old. So most of us cannot remember cell phone numbers to save our life. So that was the second thing that made him go down the drain, his wife dying. So then when his wife died, his daughter began to grow, get older, and his daughter felt as if, you don't need me. This is what happened. She said, I'm gonna show you. Okay, cool. You don't need me? Fine, I'll just leave. I grant you your wish and I'll leave. So these two things really put Geronimo in a dump, made him feel as if, I don't need nothing. I'm not a great creator. I'm actually nothing. So I'm not gonna give you the whole gist of the story. I want you to go watch the movie. It's really good. So to make a long story short, the daughter left, years went by. He was writing letters every single day, but he did not know what to say. He knew what to say, but he didn't know what to say. But he did not, the main reason why he did not send the letters is because he thought that his daughter did not want to hear from him. He realized the mistake that he made. He came to himself, he realized the mistake that he made, and it was too late. Anyway, so make a long story short, the daughter wrote a letter to the mom as if it was the dad, and the mom wrote the letter back to her dad. She gave it to her granddaughter, said she can come stay until Christmas. And that's when things begin to make a change. I want to share with you, I'm going to start right there with talking about the movie. I want you to go watch it. It's fun. It's phenomenal. And before you go a little further, it is kid friendly. I want to drop that. It is kid friendly. I watched it with my 5-year-old, and you can watch it with your baby as well. And this is my third review actually, so go watch. I promise you won't be disappointed. But what I want to tell you, sometimes things will happen in your life, things will fall off in your life, but don't let the dream, don't let the passion, don't let what it is that you want to do in life fall off with it. I understand people die. I get it. I'm not being insensitive. My uncle just died not too long ago. It was a big hit to the family, big hit to the church. People die. I'm not sounding insensitive to say, okay, people die, just keep on moving on. I'm not saying that. But this is what I am saying. When things die in your life, when things fall or change in your life, that's just the moment for you to grieve for a moment, but get back on track. Don't allow what died, or better yet, don't die with what died, if that makes sense to you. There's a dream inside of you. There's something inside of you that needs to be produced. And oftentimes when it dies or when something changes, we give up. Why are you giving up for? That's what happened to Geronimo. He stopped believing. He stopped believing in himself. People were telling him, you're still the greatest inventor. And this too, he had so much pressure because he's taking out loans for the shop to keep the shop open. He turned it from a toy store to now a pawn shop. That's the biggest trick of the enemy. The enemy wants you to devalue yourself from being the greatest to now the least. That's what happened to Geronimo. He went from a toy store to a pawn shop. God doesn't want you to go from a toy store to a pawn shop. I'm not saying that the pawn shop is bad, but in his case, he was the biggest toy supplier in the world. What does that mean to you? I want you to keep on going. Whatever it is that you're doing, dust yourself off. You're great. Listen, I want you to wake up every single morning, look in the mirror and say, I am amazing. That's why I tell all of my followers to type in below, I am amazing. I want to let you know from Mr. Aosinspires to you, keep on going. You are amazing. Don't die with what died in your life. Whether it's a person, whether it's a situation, whether it's your finances, COVID-19 has changed a lot of things. Just reposition yourself. That's it. I know it's easier said than done, but you can do it. You done got this far. So why not keep on going? Listen, the next video, I want to hear that you kept on going and your life changed.